Rolling.
Okay, this time we're going to talk about poultices. One of the most effective poultices. Poultices have been around for a long time. It's used to draw infections out of wounds. We're going to assume that she has a wound that has become infected. Depending on the color of the infection that's oozing from the wound will determine what kind of poultice you use. The most common poultice is yeast type infections. Yeast is really common. It's everywhere in the atmosphere, and it's the most likely infection that you're going to get in a wound. So we're going to make a soap and sugar poultice, which is really effective against yeast or those types of wound infections. So to actually make the poultice itself, you can use powdered soap or liquid soap. Laundry detergent works just fine. And you mix equal parts of sugar and soap. The sugar will attract the bacteria and the growth, and the soap will actually capture it and suspend it. And we keep the exterior of the bandage wet, so all this is attracted away from the body. Okay, we have our poultice mixture mixed here. Again, we're going to use a maxi pad as a bandage cover for the poultice. Well, I screwed this up. So we're going to use actual gauze initially. Closest to the wound, you put it on the gauze, and then put it directly over the infected area. And this is where the drawing comes out. Then take small amounts of water and make sure the back of the bandage is nice and wet. And that will activate the soap to actually start pulling out, the soap and the sugar to pull out of the mixture. Then you're going to want to put usually a Kotex or a non-adhesive bandage over the top of it, and then put a larger cover over the top. Now you're going to want to take the cover off and keep this poultice wet for about 4 hours. That means every hour you got to re-wet it again. And just so you're going to want to use a cover that you can take off real easily. So we'll just take that off. And we'll add some more water. And cover it up again. You'll notice after about a couple hours, these bandages might be getting very yellowish from the different infection. Or it'll actually draw this out, and it'll become rather nasty. At that point, you're going to want to put on a new poultice. So make sure that these are nice and wet before you pull them off. And you add more poultice mixture to the top of it. And of course reassemble the bandage with new clean bandages and let it soak again. And you want to re-wet them about once every hour. The person getting the infection, you're going to want to treat with whatever antibiotic means you have available to you at the time. have the patient drink silver water that helps, any kind of multivitamin. Infections can be very dangerous, especially in an unsterile environment, and especially in the conditions which you do have to use a poultice. So you definitely want to do your best to make sure that the patient is in general health as best as possible, because infections can be a life-threatening thing in unsanitary conditions. So we'll assume that this is soaked for 4 hours, and we take it all off again. Change those bandages out every hour if you need to. If not, if the infection isn't coming out, at that time you better seek some medical treatment, because you're probably going to need some kind of internal antibiotic. As you take the poultices off, of course you're going to want to pull off the poultice material and clean with just distilled water, and re-bandage it again with a dry bandage. Don't do anything for the next 6 hours after that. And if you want to monitor closely for any kind of temperature increase, whether it gets into the bloodstream, whether they get blood poisoning, things of that nature. It's a good idea for even a smaller wound that has become infected to actually put any kind of poultice on it to alleviate any possibility of the bacteria getting out of control. Any questions?
Yeah, you recommend practicing and doing their own research and things like that, and adding to it, and getting the ingredients together and things like that, pre-emergency and things like that, of course. And
oh yeah.
Did you actually seen this done somewhere, or like in the maybe one of your deployments or something like that? Or?
Yeah, we actually use this method multiple times when we were in South America and Africa. It's really easy to get infections down there because sanitation is not good at all. So you use these poultices to eliminate as much of the bacteria infections as you possibly can. Once bacteria is emulsified with the soap, it just rinses right off. This is a real effective way to treat thorn puncture wounds, especially in South America and Africa. The thorns get really, really large. So we used to keep small button, small round puncture wound band-aids, and you'd mix up a very small amount of this, and you'd actually put it right on after you've when you had the time to actually dress a wound correctly.
I'm gonna check our time. It's got to be getting close. Good, maybe 8 minutes. Or... Oh yeah, I got a minute left. You got any?
Can you use regular face bar soap?
Yeah, you can use just about any kind of soap.
Dish soap?
You can use dish soap too. But if you're using bar soap, you're going to want to grind it up or take small slivers of it off and make a little slurry with it. But almost any kind of soap will work. It just acts as an emulsifying agent or an encapsulation agent.
Right on. Well, I got 30 seconds left. I can do a close-up of the area and some of the materials and like that. 20 seconds left. And that's coffee. Whoops. Right on. So I guess that's the end of that video.
That's the end of that one.
Who's coffee?